Okay, fine. So let's start. So fine. So yesterday, I think we have done about introduction to Java and object-oriented programming. Right? So any questions from there? Okay, actually, we do recording also. Okay. And so yesterday's thing I have uploaded on YouTube channel, right? So see that YouTube channel you can access. Okay, I'll just tell you how. So YouTube channel is available with this. Slash user slash class of Java. And so this is the channel where it will be available. And so for videos, you can look at it here. Yeah. Right. So let's get started, I think, right? So what we want to look at is in our first Java application, right? We'll develop our first Java application. Okay, we have understood what is Java. It's or any object-oriented programming. It's all about data types, after all, right? Okay. So when we begin with Java, first Java application, of course, what we would like to do is for something, we would have at least showing hello world, right? Printing out hello world on the standard output. Okay? So we want output of hello world. That's the first thing we would like to achieve. But anyway, we have done such a thing in C language, and with C we know how to print hello world, and we have done that application. Okay, so fine. So let's see how in Java we can do that. Okay. So one thing, what was done in C? Okay. What was the C code? Can you anyone can tell me? Okay. So printing hello world in C language, right? Yeah. How was it done? We had a C file, and what was the content? What did we write in that file? We wrote one function, I think, right? Return type was int. I think it was int. What was the name? We had a function, right? In C, we have to write it in a function. Of course, there was hash include std.io.h. Okay, that may also have been done. But after that, the important part is this, right? What is that function? It's a function called main. Okay. Right. And then maybe we would have done something like this. Yeah. What is it? Printf. Right? And we said \n. Yeah. Okay. This is what was in C, right? Okay. So we would like to see how it can be done in Java. Okay, but this just to remind, oh, we used printf like this. We just said, okay, there is a, so what is printf here? A function, right, which we are calling. So it has been defined somewhere, and then we are calling from the a function called main. So our C applications, C programs start with a function called main. Okay, fine. So in Java also, we would have a similar thing. We would have a instead of function, the term which we use here, we call it as methods. And we don't say function, we use the term method. Okay, so we got methods here also. Right? So it's only a change in how we, what term we use. We don't say functions here. Of course, so we can sometimes, we may also call function or method, so they would be the same thing. Okay. Fine. So in Java, yes, before we start writing code in Java, right, I'd like you to introduce you to the way, what is the structure for a Java file. Okay, right? So a very rough structure of a Java file. Okay, so what is a Java file used for? Okay, so I was mentioning this yesterday also. Right? It's all about data, right? File is used for defining data types. Okay, so if I look at a structure of a Java file, okay, so if I consider this is some fine, so within okay, so we have maybe within this I'll put the Java file. Okay, so structure would be like this. Okay, there are a few optional things. Okay. So okay, I'll introduce that later. So there is some optional, we'll say it's called the package declaration. I'll put it this way. Fine. So maybe not immediately, but we'll see what is the meaning of a packet declaration. And it has a purpose. And then after packet declaration, there is another optional thing. There can be multiple import declaration. Okay. So you can understand these are all declarations and not, so this is multiple. I'm just putting triple dots to indicate it's optional, and it repeats. It can repeat. So n number of things, 0 to n. First one, it can only be once. And so there can be one packet declaration. Then it is followed by multiple input declarations. And then the next thing, again, optional. Okay. And it is nothing but your type definitions. One or more type definitions. Simple structure. And so Java is all about this. It's only about defining types. See, those two are declarations. Those two apply to the current Java file, and they are indicative of certain things, and we'll study them as we go ahead. Okay, but the third part, that's what is the purpose of a Java file. The purpose of a Java file is to define some data. Ultimately, when you will compile a Java file, okay, you are only going to get new data type. Okay, it's all about types. So and keep this in mind. Okay, so let's see this now. Okay, so with this, yeah, what are the types? So now again, so if I look at a Java file, let's say now we would like to, okay, now, okay, before that, yeah, when I say type definitions, what are the various kinds of types which we can have? Okay, let me now expand on types. Okay, so we would have types, data types available from the language. Okay? So language provides some data types. Okay, but user also is able to define data types. And yeah, one of the kinds of data types. So what are the user? What are the types which a user can define? Okay. So the types defined by user, he can be defining class, okay, or I'll put in two categories first. And so you have a class type. Okay, there's a class type. I'll come because in this category again we'll have further. Okay, and another one is the interface type. Under the class type, you will have, okay, you can have a class, okay, you can have a enum. When enum thing started from Java 5, okay, and we could also be having a record which started from Java 16. Okay. Right. So yeah, earlier we used to have before Java 5, we had only class and within the interface type, okay, we would have an interface. So you may be defining an interface. Okay. Another type is the annotation type. Okay. So 5 kinds of things can go in a Java. As far as definition is concerned, you are using a Java file to define this. Okay. So it's just, okay, so entire Java is only about 5 items because a Java file can be used for this. Of course, from Java 9, there is one more item which has been added. Okay, from Java 9 onwards, there's something called module. Okay, at this moment, we'll not be looking at that. Okay, when not at this moment. Later, yes, we may try to understand uh, what is a module about. Fine. So yeah, it's not a type, one thing. Module is not a data type. Fine. But yes, modules can also be defined in Java. Okay. So when we compile a Java file, yeah, what will be generated? Yeah. New data type is created. Okay. The output is going to be, the output of compilation is Java bytecode. Okay. So there is a Java bytecode for the each and every data type which a user is defining. So whenever a user defines a data type and when you compile it, so when we compile a Java file, okay, okay, is Java bytecode. Okay, right, which is in a file with extension dot class. It will be a dot class. Okay. Java source code, the code which we write, right? Source code is always having extension dot Java. Okay, so you create dot Java file, give it to the compiler, and you will get dot class file. Okay, fine. So let me ask a question, and then we'll do it practically. Okay. Okay, so now going by this, let's see what is the structure of, we'll see the very simplest structure of each of those 5 items. We have 5 items, right, which we can define. So, those package and import declarations, we are not using them currently. Okay, right. But so other than that, so let's say I want to have a file. Okay, so fine, below we can have, fine, a file called, let's have a file by the name. Okay, so we'll have a file called hello.java in which the below content will be there. So below this, yes, what follows is content of hello.java. Okay. So if we have a file, we can have something like this. Oh, I can define 5 items. Fine. So we'll say, okay, let's first define an item called class. Okay. To define a class, we'll use the keyword class. Fine. The other options which can come before class to qualify about, okay, tell something about what a kind of class it is, but let's not use it, right? So we'll say, okay, class, and I want to have a class called hello world. Okay, fine. So and then this is the most simplest way I can define a class. So I can have a file like this. Okay. So if I compile this, what should be the output? Yeah. No, compilation is extension is dot class, not dot class. Yeah. So it will be. So you are correct. So this should be generating. Okay. Which one? Yeah. Okay. Right. So output is going to be hello world dot class. Okay. Right. So in a Java file, let's say I'll still continue with the class part. The file is hello.java. I've put one class definition which is class for hello world. File name is hello.java. Okay. And then we have this, okay, we can go for the second item. You want to define an enum. Okay. I can have enum. Let's call it as hello enum. Okay. Fine. So maybe both of these in the same Java file. Right? We said, oh, we can have multiple type definitions in the same Java file. Structure is like this. What will it generate? See, one Java file, but you will have multiple class files. One class file for each type which is being defined. And so one thing, each data type is an independent thing. Fine. You defined a data type and it's a separate file which has been generated for it. You can carry it wherever you like. So it's all about types. I'm always going to stress on this. And it's all about data types. Okay. Okay. Fine. Now coming to this class definition. Oh, we can compile, we'll get this output. I want to test this. I want to try it out practically and check it. Okay. And then we can move to getting the output. Oh, currently, what will happen if I do this? Okay, let's see the message, which error message. If we try to run, okay, and how do we run that? That's also and, let's look at that aspect. Okay, so what I'm doing is currently putting the definition for. Okay, so we'll have this file will save as hello.java, but we are saying, oh, this has a class called hello world. Okay, and it also has a enum called hello. Okay, fine. What I also do currently is let's have all the 5 types being defined in this blank. Okay, they don't have any content and there are no members in those each of those types. Right? Okay, so we have hello world, hello enum. What were the other items? We could define a record. Okay. This is class type. So if we say first, and then we can have the interface types. Okay, so class types are class, enum, we have a record. Okay, the slight change in the syntax. Okay, when we define a record definition always requires a list of parameters. We are keeping it blank, and like a method has parameter list, our record also has a parameter list. Okay, fine. Someone could be saying, oh, int a and something like that. Okay, so we are not interested currently in using it that way. And we are only looking at the very basic syntax for each of the types. So we can define a record. So fine, there is a what we call as a contextual keyword called record, fine, which is part of Java. Okay, so we use record to define a. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, okay, and 2 more, right? So we want to have an interface as well. Okay, let's have an interface called hello interface. Okay, and so they're all blank currently. And we want to have a annotation. Okay, how do we define annotation? Okay, so we have annotation definition as hello annotation. Okay, and so this is what we'll put in our hello.java file. So we now create a file called hello.java. Okay, and we would like to compile it. Okay, okay, so we have one folder called Java 2204 for our batch. Okay, and here I'm going to be saving this file as hello.java. Okay, so we are saving it as hello.java. Yeah. Okay, all 5 definitions are available, right? So Java is about understanding only 5 items, not more than that. Okay, fine, we have saved it, but let's compile. Okay, so that we understand, yes, this is working. Fine, so this is the file hello.java. Okay, we are not currently generating any output. We haven't put any instructions for that. And to generate output or anything, to do anything, we need to always define a function. In Java, we'll call it as a method. See, even in C language, you had a function. The function was main. Okay, for Java also, yes, we'll have to write a function. But a Java file is not about defining a function. The Java file is about defining data types. Okay, so content of a Java file, find the structure. If you find, so just put this again. You can look at this again. Okay. So it's something like this. Okay, that's just a link for the channel. This is okay. How we did in C language, right? It was something like this, right? So just reminding C language code. Okay, and that's a code for the C language, and then the structure of a Java file. This is what we are looking at. Oh, the structure of Java file says there is something like a packet declaration. It's a declarative thing. It's not about the definition. You can have import declaration multiple. I put 3 dots, that means it's multiple, and you can define types. Okay, there are types which a programmer can define. Okay, and types defined by user. In that again, what the user defines can be categorized into 2 types: class types and interface types. Okay. In class types, we have class, enum, or record. Class is from right from the beginning. Class and interface, basically, these two types were the only thing which were available initially in the initial versions of Java. And then from Java 5, we had enums and annotation. Okay, and Java 16, we have record also. Okay, from Java 16, we can define record. Okay, Java 9 has something more. From Java 9 onwards, we had one more thing which we can put in a Java file. It's called module. We're not looking at module. Okay, fine initially. And again, about the declarative part, okay, these are declarative things only, and they won't generate any kind of an output when you compile. So when you compile, yes, this is what is important. Java file is about types only, nothing more than that. Okay, and so this is what matters to us. This is just to give a structure. Okay, what is the structure? The purpose of a Java file is to define types. Okay, that should be clear. Okay, so when we compile the Java file, the output of compilation is a Java bytecode, which is in a file with the extension of .class. And all Java source code has an extension of .java. Okay, so yeah, we can think of hello.java being a file something like this. Okay, I think then we switch to creating a new file where we can have all the content of a, so we can practically try this out. So yeah, this is the content of a, we saved it already, right? We saved it as hello.java. Okay, right? And okay, so this is the content. Let's compile and see what happens. Okay. Okay, so what happens when you compile this? Okay, so let's check the directory. Okay, so here is we've got the hello.java file. Yeah, that's there. Right? Let's compile. I'll just say javac, and we use the command javac and just say hello.java. Okay, and so that should give us. Okay, okay, no errors. Right? No errors in the Java file. Let's check the directory now. Oh, we got so many things. We compile one Java file and we get class file corresponding to each of the types which we have defined. Okay, so one thing, these are data types. So each data type has its own independent existence. Of course, they are dependent many times on some other types. Right? A type wants to use another type, so there will be dependencies. So and keep that in mind. When we study further, yes, we'll see that aspect. Okay, so first thing was to understand that a Java file is only for defining 5 kind of items, not more than that. And scope of our study is these 5 items. Okay. Of course, within these also there are so many aspects. Each of those things we'll have to look at, right? And it's all about using the data types. Okay, fine. Now, coming to what we did in C language, we printed hello world, right? So that requires a function to be there. Java file doesn't say you put a function in the Java file. The types will be having the function. Each of the type can say, okay, for this type, this is the kind of operation which is available. Okay, so if you want to have an application, like we have that, no, in C we had the function called main. In Java also, we would have to have a method called main. But method would be inside one of those 5 types. Okay, so those 5 types, yes, they can have methods. Of course, they have certain rules What can go, each of those is a different type. So what goes in class and how it is going to be used is different from what goes in an annotation. Okay, and there'll be different rules for them. Okay, so okay, so we have, let's say, in the, so if you want to print hello world, yeah, we would have a function. So I'll just put it the way it was in C language, or what was there in C language, and then we'll see the changes which are necessary. You can have int main, okay, or we did something like this, and I'm just putting the code of C language here. Okay, so it was printf, and this was saying, okay, and that was the C program, right? This is our C program. And just let's see, let's try this first. Okay, right? Okay. So here, let's come. Oh, we'll have to, if we have made changes, let's compile again. It says, I don't understand printf. This function has to be defined somewhere. It has to be available from some place. Okay. So now put the code which is necessary for using printf in Java. Okay. So we got one compilation error. Here, why the error? Don't see the method called printf. See, it says cannot find the symbol. Symbol means, oh, that printf. It's pointing on printf. It's not able to figure out what is this printf. Okay. Okay, so yeah, in Java, instead of just saying printf, these are methods. Printf is a method which would work on some object. I need to specify an object. Okay. The object here which corresponds to the standard output. Standard output is going to be our console, the terminal which we are using. Okay. So that's available in, there is a class called system, and it has one of the objects called out, on which you are saying, okay, on that system.out. System is a class which holds an object of called out. Okay, so we are saying system.out, and on that we are saying, oh, let's invoke the method called printf. So we have the printf method, fine, and let's try compiling this code now. Okay. And so system is known to Java. It's part of the Java library, and we'll be able to use it. Okay. Okay. So let's compile. Oh, I think we missed out one. Yeah. Oh, we have a return type of int. So what do we do? Want to put a return? Oops. Okay. Let's put a return statement then. Let's return 0 then, right? Okay. We need a return type. Let's put a return 0. Okay. Save this. Okay. And let's compile again. Okay. It's complaining about, oh, your method has a return type as int, but you haven't returned the value. And if someone will invoke the method, he's expecting an int value, right? It's a function basically, right? So when you write a function, yes, you must have a return statement according to the return type. If return type is void, then you may not have a return statement. Now it compiles. Okay. And we got our class files, right? Okay. So which is the class file which has the main function, main method? Hello world, yeah, that last one, hello world. So if we want to run that application, we want to run the function main. Oh, let's try something like this. Let's try Java and hello world. Okay, Let's think, okay, we got this Java and let's try hello world. Yeah. And what does it say? Main method not found in class. We have a main method, right? And please define the main method as. Now it says some advice. What is the advice? Yeah. So the main is fine. The return type should have been void. Okay. And it must be declared to be a static method and a public method. And we should be declaring it to be public and static. Okay. And it should have parameter also, not without parameter. The parameter should be of type args is the name of the parameter. What's the type? String array. Okay, it's a string array. Fine. Yeah. So yes, if you make mistake, yes, you should be reading the error messages to understand and what it wants to say. Fine. And then we can make further progress on this. Let's see. So what do? We have two options. Okay. One is whatever he's asking, because that code has compiled. That has compiled. Let's put what he's asking us to put. Let's add that. We can do that, adding. Or one is to modify this. Maybe we can add. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, there is a main method with the return type int and no parameters. And now we are saying, okay, let's put public static void main. And this is what was suggested to us. Okay, this is what has been suggested by the compiler. So let's do that. Okay, not by the compiler, by the runtime. Because when we are running, it's expecting that you will have this. Okay, we don't need a return because the return type is void. Okay, of course, if you want, you can just simply write return without anything. This is also okay, or you don't write, that's fine, because that's anyway the last statement. Okay, fine. So fine. Even if you put it, that's not a problem, because last statement is written, that's fine. Okay. Fine, you can't put some statement after return. Okay, let's see. So let's compile this code. Right, any problems up to this? Okay, let's compile. Fine, so we compile like this. Okay. No errors. Yeah, our class definition can have two different means. Yeah, okay, and then when we use this command to run, okay, there's a command to run, and that's to execute. So when we use this Java and hello world, what does it do? Oh, that's printing hello world. Yeah, I think we can put that \n here. Okay. Yeah. When we understand \n is for new line. Okay. And another thing on Windows environment specifically, you should use \r\n. Yeah. Because for Windows, end of line is carriage return and line field. And for Windows, it's carriage return followed by line field. Okay. So for Windows, yes, you should use \r\n. Okay. Fine. Basically, in Java, we have another method also. I can put that for output. Okay. So you could be saying, okay, you can still be using that same object for fine. This is the object for standard output, which is nothing but our console. Okay. So on this, we are saying printf, or you can even say println. With println, we don't need to put the end of line characters, whether it is \r or \n. That will be taken care of. If it's Windows, okay, I'll use \r, n. So it's able to understand that, right? Okay. So there's no need of specifying \r or \n or any of those. Okay, fine. So we can compile and run this. So one thing what we have understood is what happens when we use, okay, let's compile first and then we'll use this. So when we use this, what exactly is happening? When I say Java followed by name of a type, I'm not saying class. In this case, it's a class. But yeah, we'll see that it's not necessarily a class. It could be the other types as well. Okay? Then you can see this. Any questions? Yeah. Okay, so what do we understand? What happens exactly when we say Java and hello world? Yeah, Java and name of a type. What will it do? What do we have corresponding to hello world? There is a class file. It's a definition, right? Whatever we have defined, oh, it says, oh, yes, we have a class called hello world. There is a main method which returns int, no parameters. There's another main method which is public and static. Return type is void. It's not going to return anything. Okay, but it takes some inputs, which is a array of string. Okay, fine. Let's see. Fine. So this part is clear. But what happens when we, yeah, so what happens when we do this, Java and hello world? What is it doing? Loading this definition, and then earlier we got an error, right? Yeah. It loaded the definition, but then it looked for a method main, which is in this manner. Does it have a method? So if you give any type name, does that type have a public and a static method with return type of void, okay, and containing a fine name is main and a parameter is a string array? If such a definition is found, if that kind of a method is found in that type, then it will try to call the method and just call that method. It's a function. See, in C it was invoking the function main. When we give the command, okay, it was just invoking the function main and it was returning a value. Here we are not returning a value. It's going to call that function, and the function will, fine, whatever is the code in the function, that will now execute. Right? It's all about calling the main function. So our application starts with the function main. Okay, we have to have an application, and in that application we will be using the types, various kinds of data types. Hello world itself is a type. In the main method, yes, I can declare a variable, type can be hello world. I can declare a variable, type is hello enum. With data type, we declare variables, right? And then we start using them. Fine. Okay, fine. Shouldn't be getting confused because too many things. 5 items. And we're just looking at those 5 things. But yes, what is different from C language? Our C program was only a function. Our Java file is not a function. It's about 5 items. Could be any of those 5 items. You can have just one of them defined, any one of them being defined. Otherwise, there's no purpose of a Java file. Java file is only for 5 items. You compile them, you'll get a class file for each of them. And execution begins with the method called main, which is declared to be. So if you try to execute, execution is done with the command Java followed by name of a type. And I'm not saying name of a class here. Okay, 5 types. Okay, let's see whether such things will work in the other types also. Yeah, we put, see, this is what we call as application in Java. So what is the application in Java? It is nothing but this method called main. This is the application. Java application is here. It requires some type in which you can put it. Can you put it in any type? Okay, let's see. So let me copy this and let me put it inside enum. Now, enum has some kind of a structure. It's again a class type, as I mentioned. Okay, it's a class type similar to a class. Okay, but with a difference. In a enum definition, it has got 2 parts. Okay, it's normal class definition, but before we start a class definition, it requires that you give me what are the objects which you should have for this type. It has pre-created objects. You can give a list of objects. Oh, I want for the hello enum, I want one object called what do we call it? Let's say I have an object called hi. I have another object called hello. So it says you first provide me the list of objects. Put a semicolon to end the list of objects. Okay. So what I have asked it to do, okay, I want a class, it's similar to a class. So I want a type called hello enum, and I want it to have only 2 objects. Okay, I want it to have only 2 objects. And those will be available as, so how will I be using this particular object? Oh, it will, this object is available as anyone using from outside, right? Okay, he will be able to use it by saying hello num dot hi. That's the object. Okay, so enums are just again they are types, they are kind of a class where objects are decided by the one who has developed the class. And you can't, someone else can't be creating any other objects. This hello enum has only 2 objects and no one can add to that list. Okay. You may, earlier we didn't have anything in the enum, so you can have an enum with 0 objects. You have not declared any objects. Okay, so 2 parts. The first part is having the list of objects. Okay, so once the list of objects is over, okay, and that's how it is available. Okay, okay, once the list of objects is over, yeah, that's a place where I can put my definition. Oh, sorry. I can put my application here. So let's try this. I can, so this part, so only after a semicolon, it's becoming similar to what was there in the class definition. First list of objects and then the definition. So here is my definition. And we are just writing the main method. Okay, just to differentiate that what we are running, let's make this as, instead of hello world, let's call it as hello from enum. Okay, okay, we may just yeah, here instead of printf, let's use println, and it's more common to use println, but printf is a In C language, if you have seen what is printf, what is it? It's print formatted. Right? You can provide the string which you provide can have format information, and there can be more parameters to it, right? Percentage s, percentage 10d or some such thing, right? You are then passing more parameters to it. So it's that same printf which you have in C. So printf, what you had in C, is available here also. It's print formatted. Okay. And but println, because println just takes one parameter, right? What is it that you would just like to print? And end of line is there, right, which is built into it. So I'm removing this code. Okay. So let's have just hello from enum or the fine. We don't. It's not compulsory to put a return anyway. Being the last statement. Okay, so we have saved this. Or see, even this all these two lines is also not necessary. If you want, we can remove that. It was just to understand what it is for. Okay. So we can even if we keep at this moment, it's fine. We can remove it. That's also fine. Okay. And so yeah, currently we are only using application method called main, which is public static return type void parameters are still there. And that was suggested by the runtime when we tried to run that code. Okay, let's compile. It's compiled. Okay, and we can try hello. Hello world was working. We have another one, hello enum, and that's working. I think we have put a backslash and yeah, there were two line fields. And just remove the additional backslash r backslash n. Println will take care of that. So we have seen we can have a main inside a class. We can have a main inside a enum. Okay. Record, they require a parameter list, which we have kept as empty initially. And at this moment, we are not looking. The syntax for record definition requires. Okay. Fine. If you remove this, that would be rare. Okay. If you remove this, that's it. And so each of the 5 types, they have their own requirements, right? How to define each of those 5 types. So we want to try just similar to this. Yeah, we can put this inside a record also if you want. Yeah. Okay. And let's have, instead of enum, in interface again, let's try this in interface. Okay. Okay, we want to try it in annotation also. Yeah, so we are trying something like this. Okay. Yeah. So what do you think? Should compile or should be an error? Okay, let's see. When we compile, yeah, we'll get something. But yeah, if there's an error, we can always look at it and then follow it accordingly. Line 32. The error is at line 32. What does it say? Error. Modifier static not allowed here. The method main, which we have been writing for our application, is a static method, and in an annotation definition, that 32, line 32 happens to be in my annotation definition. So annotation cannot take a static. You can't have a static method inside a annotation. Annotation are very typically used with very, there's some kind of a method which we'll study later. It will only have abstract method, and that too without parameter. Methods cannot have parameters also when it's an annotation definition. We'll have methods, but only abstract method with certain limited kind of return types allowed and no parameters to the method. Okay, see, each has a typical requirement. Another thing let me also indicate here is this thing, a static method like this inside a interface was not working, was not allowed before Java 8. Only from Java 8 this has been allowed. So if you are using a compiler which is prior to Java 8, this one is not valid. Okay, it's not going to happen. But anyway, we'll take the advantage of what has been allowed from Java 8. So now what is to be done? Oh, this annotation is giving me some problems. Okay, let's remove this. Okay, sure. It's the same. It starts from there. A declaration cannot declare formal parameters. You can see that methods cannot have parameters in a annotation, right? Invalid type for annotation interface element. It's the same line 32 all the time. Oh, return type void. No, there are certain limited return types which are allowed. Right? So abstract methods cannot have body. Oh, that's something about the abstract methods. It's assuming it's abstract because you are putting it in an annotation. Annotation is expecting a method to be abstract. I mentioned, I think, all the 4 points about annotation, right? Parameters not allowed. Return type, limited set of return types. Not anything can be a return type there. Void is definitely not there. It has to return something. Okay, but certain types you can't be just returning any type you like. Okay, there are limited set of return types allowed there. Okay, and that's what all those error messages are about.
All the 4 errors,
yeah,
because of that single line.
Yeah, that's single.
Yes. One for the modifier, then
Static. One for static. You can't have static method. Fine. Another one is for the, you can't be having parameters in the methods of a annotation. Right? You can't be having a return type like void there. If I put string, you would have one error less. Or if it was int, it would be one error less. Okay, and fine. It's expecting it to be an abstract method, so you can't be having a body. Anyway, so annotation. We're not currently looking at annotation, but yeah, this just to give an idea that this is what is possible, right? So I'll remove this here. We'll keep the annotation definition. It's blank. It's fine. I can still be having the class file generated for it. Okay, so yeah. Okay, oh, hello enum was working. Let's try all of them now, right? One by one, all 5 of them. So we'll have what? Hello world, that was the name of the class. Okay, we have the hello enum, we have the hello record, it's from the record. Okay, hello, I think we have not updated the message in the hello interface. It would it is copied from some place, so it won't say hello from interface, I think. Oh, we modified that. Yeah. So first 4 things are fine, but yeah, what would happen? What will it say? Again, that message, you don't have the main in this. You are giving me a type which doesn't contain the public static void main method I'm expecting. But that anyway, because it's annotation, can't be there. So annotation cannot be used for defining an application. The application cannot go inside a annotation. Other 4 items, yes, I can put my application in any of them. Starting point is main, which we call as our application. Okay. Another thing here, we are getting a parameter. Type is, we give the parameter name as args. Anyway, it's up to us to put whatever parameter name we want. So let me go to this interface. Let's make some changes to this method now. Okay. Anyway, so it's not args is compulsory. You can give any name you like. I just call it as A. That's also fine. Okay. So currently I'm saying hello from interface. Let's start using the input parameter. What is the type? What's the data type for A? String array. Okay, it's an array type. Array means, what is an array type? It has multiple elements. Array has multiple elements. So if you want to know how many elements are there in an array, we have a variable which we can attach to it. For example, okay, so I'll do a println again. Okay, but this time I'm not printing this, but I'm going to print a dot length. For any array type, you can know the number of elements in that. Okay. You can do string concatenation here. Okay. Elements in A plus. I can do like this. So you'll get a message saying elements in A colon and whatever is the value for length. Okay. And let's save this. Let's compile this. Okay, we'll try this. Yeah, it's compiling. And we don't get an error. And oh, this was in interface, right? So we have to try in the hello interface. It says 0. Oh, there's 0 elements. And let's do something here. Okay. See, as I start my application, I'm asking, what am I doing with this Java hello world, hello interface? What am I doing? I'm asking it, load this interface, load the class definition, look for the method main, and invoke that method. But when I'm invoking the method requires some inputs. And that's where I'm giving the inputs to the method. What is the input to the method? An array, multiple strings. Let's see. We pass 3 strings. So input to that function is from the command line. What is the input? Array. The array is created based on what you specify after the name of the type. Okay, I'm not saying class or interface or anything. We understand which types. Except for the annotation, the other 4 types. Okay, fine. Okay, let's see this. I'm using double quotes now on the command line. Oh, it's true. Yeah. So your string. So how many strings are made available to it? 2 strings. Okay. How do we access those strings now? From which are in the array. The strings are in an array. Okay. The strings are in an array, and how do we use them? So in this, yeah. So one is, yes, we have printed how many elements in A. Okay. So find, it's a parameter name, your decision, what you want to call it. Okay. It's not necessarily ours. You can put your own parameter. In C also you write a function, decide your parameter name. That's what is used locally in that function. Okay. So now we understand there can be multiple elements and we would like to access each of the elements. So for, yeah, what do? We write it, this is code from C language now, okay? Int I equals 0, I less than a dot length. Whatever the number of elements in the array, and I plus plus. And then we'll do the string concatenation. And let's greet each of those. And a of I, right? That's how you access elements in an array, by using their indexes. Indexes start from 0. Fine. Array indexes, they start from 0. Okay. We can compile this and save this. Let's compile this. Hello interface with parameter. Yes. So the parameter which is coming to the method called main is nothing but coming from here. So when we say Java followed by name of a type, okay, it loads this definition, checks it has a method called main, which is declared to be public static, and should have a parameter of type string array. Fine. It will load that, then it says, okay, it has, right? So if this method is available, from whatever you have passed after the name, I will create an array. I'll create an array with so many elements. The array is made up of strings. Okay, fine. We could even use the other one. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Fine. So picking up command line arguments. So you want to use give command line arguments from the command when you are running that application. You want to pass something to that function main. It's about invoking function main only. C also, you are invoking function main. In C also, you could actually be passing those arguments. I'm not sure whether you have tried such a thing in C language. Argc, argv, you have to give two, it requires two. One is a pointer to a string, actually char, and pointer to a char array, and other is a int. Argc, first is a int and then the argv. Argv is a
Vector.
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 It's an
Pointer to
it's like an array in concept. Pointer to an array. Okay. So it's the same thing basically. Fine. Only difference is in case of C, the first parameter received is the name of the application itself. Okay. And here it's the first argument, not this one. It's not going to say it is hello interface or anything like that. And in C, that's the case. Fine. Yeah. Any questions on this? Okay. Fine. Want to try out or? Okay. Fine. I'll show you some more tools here. So this first thing is about the fine. We saw two commands, right? One is javac used for compiling, right? Other was java used for running the main method. Okay, and another one. Okay, so one thing, it's all about types, we understand, right? It's all about data types ultimately. So each of the types which we have got, right? So I have the type called string here. Oh, we are using types, right? When we define a type, we'll be using some other types in turn. Okay, so we are using the string type. Now I have got this string called a of I. A is a array of string, and therefore a of I is string. An element of the array are the string. Okay, so when I'm using a of I, it's a string. So a of I dot, what all options do I have? I would like to use something from there. Maybe I would like to check, get a substring out of it, or I would like to check if it has got a space there. So what should I know? It's a string type. What kind of operations I can perform on a string? How will you know that? Do you have the source code for the string to figure out what it is having? What all kind of methods are defined for the string? How do you know what all methods are defined and available for the string? How will one know that?
Documentation.
Yeah, the one who has written the string must give us a documentation. Yeah? We have defined hello world. We have got a function called main, which returns int, doesn't take any parameter. That also is available. Right? If someone creates an object of hello world, we haven't done that yet. But if someone does that, what can he do with that object? He should be able to call the function main without passing a parameter, and it should be returned. We have written the code to return a 0, so he will be getting a value of 0. Yeah, you can invoke a function, but object must be created for that. Anyway, so we haven't. We'll come to that part later. Okay, but the idea is to know in a type. So the one who has created the string type, he should be knowing what all he has done. Same way, when we have created our types, people will expect from us also same thing. They expect a documentation from us about our type. So we'll have to write documentation. Right? How do we put the documentation? Oh, we have a tool. Fine. We have a tool in Java called javadoc. Fine. We have seen two utilities, one for compiling, other for running. Third one is for generating a documentation. Fine. We know how to write comments. What are the way to write comment? Double slash is a single line comment. Slash star and star slash, that's a block comment. Okay. A special case of a block comment is a documentation comment. Fine, we'll come to that documentation comment. Let's first just generate a documentation. Okay, then we'll generate a documentation. Now, one more thing about the compiler. Let me explain some switch related to the compiler and the runtime. Because what is happening currently in whatever we have done so far is we are cluttering up the directory. So there's so many things here. Fine. Okay. And there's so many things which are coming up here, and therefore we don't want to mix up the class files with the Java file. Okay, see, normally you would have a project folder for the project. When you come up with a project, you'll have a folder for the project, right? And in that, all the source code will be managed at one place, and the binary files, the class file is a binary file, will be managed in a separate place. Okay, fine. Source code we can manage. Let's not clutter up with all other things. So what we can do here is we can create one folder within this. So you can think Java 2204, that's a project. Okay. So for this project, all the source code is being kept in a directory. Let me create a directory first. Okay, src. So we have a folder for src. Okay, and we also create a folder for the binary files. Okay. We have the Java file. So move. Okay. Star.java. There's only one anyway. Hello.java to src. Okay. Right. Let's see the directory structure now. Yeah, there's a bin folder. The Java file is gone. Okay, it's gone inside the src. Okay, and we can delete the class files. Okay, let's remove the class files. So now it's cleaner. Okay, this folder is much cleaner now. Right? And then, okay, now how do I compile? Oh, where is my Java file? It's in src. Okay, I've changed directory to src, and let me check the directory. It contains this. Okay, how do we compile? Javac. Now we have a switch here to specify that whatever the output, what is generated by a compiler, class files, we are asking it to put it in a destination directory. You say -d, my destination directory is, where is my destination? In the bin. So for going to bin, I'll say dot dot to go to the parent folder. Okay, backslash bin. Specify this and then give your hello.java. Clear? How do we compile? We will be, now onwards, we'll be compiling like this. Okay, using the switch called -d, destination. Destination is your bin. Okay, let's compile. It compiles. Okay, we can check the folder in the bin. Yeah, the class files are generated now. Okay, now, you don't want to be changing the folder directly again and again. See, if I just say Java and I try hello interface. Yeah, I don't find this. I don't find the class. There's no class file current in the current folder, and therefore it says, oh, I'm unable to load that class. Class not found. Which class? Hello interface. Here the term class is used for that class file. Okay. Fine. So yes, I would like to use hello world, hello interface here, but now I would like to also indicate to it CP stands for class path. You're saying all the classes which you need, you're asking the runtime, if you need any class definition, look for it in the folder indicated by the -cp switch. So we have a switch called -cp. The full form is class path. It's nothing but the path where the class file should be loaded from. You want to load any class? Look in that folder. Okay. See, what are the classes it is loading? It's loading only the hello interface. Okay. And yeah, I'm able to use it now.
main methodમાં argsમાં string array જો
Yeah.
database આપકો compulsory है
Yes.
integer
See, what we run from here, right? This name which we are giving, hello interface. So this should have a, so if you want to use it from command line, then it should have a method called main. Okay, I'll do one thing more. Okay, because it's not about the main. We don't have anything in the annotation, right? I would do one thing here. Okay, this I'm sending it in the annotation, but anyway, the few requirements of the annotation says no body here, and this would compile. Right. So only one thing here is, yes, also if you see why I'm showing it here is we have a main already, right? But it's not a static one and does not have a parameter. Here you can, okay, I think we can change in one of the places. Okay, let's say for hello world, let me, so you are suggesting we have it like this. Okay. Okay, just we'll make some changes here. Let's say it has a return type int here and no parameters, or return type int and no parameters. We already have one, but that's a static one. Okay, fine. And to make a difference, return 0. Okay. Right. So this you can see, I have to change return type because we can't have two methods with the same return type. Okay. Or even if I had made it void, if I made it void and so keep it as it is, but you are asking to remove the parameter list, right? It would be complaining about method main not being available. So it's looking for that method name. Okay, this is a valid code. They're all main methods. Okay, and to run that, yeah, we have to say Java followed by. Okay, let's use this. Okay. Minus CP is for, yeah, we forgot the minus CP option. Minus, we put. When it's not saying return, when returning 0, so which method is used? Which has a parameter. You can have main, so I'm not saying you can't have main without a parameter also. You can have, but that's not the one which will be used when you use the command line. Okay, see why we are having main here. Okay, now just see this. Okay, right. So before a return, it says, yeah, what will happen? Or yeah, x equals main. Okay, so this is the application. That's the point. Okay, then, this is compiling. Let me put some more code so that you can realize what it is all about. This is going to compile, no errors. Okay. Also, someone saying hello interface dot main. I receive those parameters and pass it to this. Same thing. Or, okay, and someone could be doing like this, and someone says, okay, let's put a message here. Okay. Okay. Just an indication. And then someone says, yeah, hello interface dot main, and not these command line arguments. That says, okay, I'll pass a array. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, so we just call hello world now, and this is which hello world. Oh, I think we put it in the wrong place. In the hello world, we have done it in the correct place. Did we compile? We have compiled, right? Hello.java and hmm? Have we saved already? No.
Yes, save.
Okay. It's printing hello again, and then it's saying hello interface dot main args. So that should, I think we'll have to probably compile again. That compilation may have been earlier one, okay, before saving. No. Okay, let's make a change and find out if there is some. Okay.
That means it's not actually compile.
Uh,
It's saying because it should have printed hello again once.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is the class hello world, right? It's going in the hello world only and not anywhere else.
Can you delete the classes in there?
Okay, let's remove the. Okay. But that's done later, right? Return 0 is fine because that's in the other method which has to return a value. See, it's like this. Okay, how it would work is something like this. When it says x is equal to, that 0 will be assigned to x. Okay. 0 should be getting assigned to.
No, but either way, it should have printed hello again 1.
Yeah.
Because we made that change. So that is not the problem.
Okay, let me delete. Okay, let's compile. Let's run. Do we have anything here? No. I know. I think we have the hello.java at this place, but what we are editing is not at this place. See the mistake we have done. There's a hello.java here. Okay. Okay. See, the problem here is what I should have done was this. I should have said, uh, save as. See, whenever you do such a thing, right, when moving to a different place, do a save as. Okay, so it's pointing to that old place, right? So I should have said, okay, let me replace this now. Okay, replace. Okay, so let me go to SRC first. Yeah, I'm not going to make that mistake. Okay. Now we have errors, right? Illegal start of expression. See, it doesn't know what is that the type which are wanting to invoke here. Okay, fine. So I shouldn't be using the string array the way I have done. Okay, there's a better way of doing it. The correct way here would be, you'll have to mention that's a string array. And then it would be fine. Okay. Okay, still, yeah. Main is already defined in class hello. Now there is a int, right? Yeah, because the return type int is available already. And maybe I'll change the return type for, okay, these two basically, this one,
Yes,
and
the first one is conflicting with
this
the
one
third one.
is a conflict. Okay. Okay.
If we make it double, will it work? Instead of int.
Okay. Okay. Let's try this if it works.
No, it doesn't.
It's here, that's it. Right? Okay, we have assigned to int there. Okay, I'll fix that now. Here, instead of saying main, put it as hello Allah. So that should work now. Actually, the earlier message still says that it's still it's defined. Main is already defined.
So that double thing is not working actually.
Yeah.
Maybe we can, essentially for this kind of error, we have to change the return type.
Okay. Just not array, but a single string. But in that case, I should be passing a single string to it. Okay. When invoking the main, which is this one. Okay, this wasn't necessary then. Yeah, now it should be able to figure out which main to use. We have put all mains, so it should be able to figure out which main. So that it can know because I'm passing a string. I'm passing a string, so it knows the one with the string. Yeah. Right. So after that, it's invoked it again. Then see this hello from interface, and we didn't pass a command line argument. Uh, So that one uses the command line arguments, that one using the arguments which we have specifically passed internally. Yeah, so any questions here till this point? We can keep it simple. Let's remove the different main methods. Let's keep it simple and just say hello world. If it is confusing. Huh? This is okay? Yeah? Okay. Fine. We're talking about the tools. Oh, we were talking about one javadoc thing, right? Okay. Let's try the command and we'll be guided by the command itself when we get some errors. Okay. So yeah, what we want to try a command for generating a documentation. Right? You've seen javac and java, right? Now let's try javadoc. Okay. Now similar to the javac command, here also we have a switch called -d. Okay. Dot backslash docs. Let's have a folder docs where we'll have our documentation. And I want to generate the documentation for hello.java. First, you should ensure that whatever you are giving for javadoc should have been compiled. Okay, it should be something which can be compiled. So it should have errors, compilation errors. Okay, fine. And then I'm asking it from this, generate a documentation file. And yeah, you'll get some error initially. It says no public or protected classes found to document. Okay, fine. It says I don't find a public or a protected class. Yes, we didn't use the word public for any of the types which we have defined. Yeah, there is a requirement. If you are defining a public type, the file name should match the type name. You want a public class, hello world should become public class, then you will have to put it in hello world.java. Okay, and that's actually a good habit to do. Whatever class, whatever type you're defining, you should put it in the file by the same name. I've put it into a wrong habit. Okay, what I have done is not something which should be done. Okay, but yes, this is just to explore and find out about that. Yes, syntactically, Java allows us to have multiple types in the same file. Okay, even if it's not public, normal practice is to put them in a file by the same name as the type name. When I'm saying type, you understand any of the 5 items.
So this also means that javadoc will generate documentation only for public.
We can generate for whatever we like, anything. Okay, it's up to us to decide. So we have some more switch here. Okay, destination is specified. Let me use one more switch, minus package. Yeah, we'll talk about, once we know what is a package, I'll be able to talk about it. But at this moment, I'm just using the switch so that it can generate the documentation even if it is non-public. or non-protected. Okay, and I'm using the switch minus package, and let's see. It has generated something for me. There are some warnings. Let's ignore those warnings. Okay, and yeah, let's go to the folder. Where are the folders? Do we have a folder called, yeah, 204? That's here. Yeah, we got the docs folder. Okay, fine. And it has generated some nice HTML documentation. And where is index.html? Look for the index.html in this folder. This is the index.html file. I'm double clicking, and here we didn't put a packet declaration, and what it did, created an unnamed package. Everything is always in a package. You don't give it, it's becoming part of an unnamed package. And all the types are part of a package. Okay, this is my list. All classes and interfaces are here, right? And I can go, okay, let me show, let's see the interface list. Oh, there's only one. Let's see the classes, there's only one. Let's see the enum classes. Oh, there's only one enum. There's one record, and there's one annotation. Okay, so nice HTML documentation to see what all is there. Okay, all of them together can be seen. We would like to look into the interface. Yeah, our interface has a method main, string array args, and if I click on main, it takes me to the detail. But there's no difference, not much difference. What would you like to have when you see a method? Or what would you like to have when you see the class definition? In the initial part, this interface definition, shouldn't I be describing what it is? I would like to see some description for the interface which is there. You would like to see a description for the method which is coming here. You will be shown what all members are there. You have a type called hello interface, and that contains a method called main, because that's the only thing we have done. Let's look at the one for, we can here go back to the package. Let's see, the unnamed package is here. And if I look at the class hello world, let's look at hello world. Yeah, what happens? Yeah, okay. It has so many other things, but let's see the method list. Oh, we have got 3 methods. We can only see the static methods if you like, right? Okay. Okay, 2 static methods, and we can instance methods. Yes. Oh, meaning we'll be able to look at it later. It says private package, package private. Anyway, that's fine. All methods, let's keep it like this. So this one is a int. These are static methods. That wasn't declared static. Okay, so it has main which takes string array. This is the main with string, return type double. This has return type void. So in that way, yes, you will know what all methods are there, but there's no description for them. You would like to have description in them, and we'd like to see the descriptions. Okay, so let's get them. Okay, see, we have the tool to generate a documentation, but then it's up to us that we provide the proper things which are needed for it, right? So now you want to put a description for which one? For the hello world class, okay? Or maybe let's do it for the interface, right? Let's see this. So just before the interface, okay, I'm doing it for the interface here. Okay, so just before the interface, you can put a comment. It's a block comment, but not the normal block comment, not this one. Okay, this will simply be a block comment, but you can make it a double star, it becomes a documentation. But one thing, the location is important. It has to be located just before what is it about. This is the comment for hello interface. Okay, this is the description for hello interface, and I put it just before the definition of hello interface. Okay. So I have put it here. What does it contain? It has a member called main. So if you want the comments for the main method, put it just before this. Okay. Okay. Method. Okay. Fine. Let's generate the documentation again. Okay. And let's look at this here. Yeah. Okay. We'll have to reload this. Reload tab. Okay, not this one. We'll go to the package and hello interface. Yeah, we got this here. Clear, the description comes. See here, it would include, we had only one, yeah. So this is the documentation, and I can click on the method here to come to the method list. And you can see here the description will be, it's a summary part. Therefore, only the first sentence will be taken up to the first full stop. Okay. And if I click on this, it will take me to the detailed thing. And the detail, yes, the entire thing will be there. Okay. Details can contain more information also. Okay. For example, this command line argument, whatever is being passed, right? Yeah. Okay. It's pointing to the documentation on the Java side also. So they've made this change. Earlier it wasn't the case. That wasn't the case.
I was just like, because
Yeah.
even in the local documentation, it's linking back to the Oracle classes. If they are using that.
So you wanted to know about string? Yes, use string. That's from the library, right? Now, there is a documentation like this available for Java. Okay. Fine. I can show you this documentation, similar documentation for the Java library, which I have downloaded locally. So we can, I'll show it here. Oops. Yeah. There's a bookmark here. And this is our 18 anyway, but that's the way documentation is. See, this is documentation for whatever is there in the Java library. Okay. How the types are organized here. Okay, how the types have been organized. See, Java library is huge. Fine, Java library is huge, and it has been organized into modules. Okay, modules contains packages, and a set of packages will form a module. Okay, and each package contains the types. Okay, each package contains the types. So here we'll select a module first, all modules. So there's a list of modules. Okay, well, it is the java.base module, and that module has okay, it has, so in this module we got classes and interfaces. So yeah, it has got packages. Module contains packages. Let's see the list of packages here. Okay, select the package. Okay, I've selected the package java.lang, and you'll have a link for classes and interfaces here. Yeah, the classes, interfaces, enum, exception classes. Yes, they're special kind of a class, exception classes, right? So we can go for yeah, classes here, and we wanted to look at the string class maybe, or we were fine, we are interested in the class called string. See, they have, there is a source code for Java which is available. Okay, and if you look at the source code for Java, they have put this documentation comments like this to manage to get all of this in a documentation form. So they use the tool javadoc, but before that, in the source code, they put the documentation comment. Okay, right. So yeah, this just to show the simple source code for simple documentation for this thing. So here you can see, yeah, we have the methods with the, so method description, all methods are there, and then if I click a particular method, and they have the single line first sentence, right? So a method called carrot maybe, yeah, the full description, but parameters, returns, again, there are within the documentation comments, we use something called tags, and with the help of tags, you can mention these things so that they appear separately, right? It says, yes, see, though it is showing there's a index, yeah, you want to specify about the index. What is that parameter called index? The index is the index. So you want to put some description even for each parameter, you can put that. Okay, fine. So there's, so when you, this is the documentation for the method char at. Okay, this entire thing. Within that, there's a way to mention that I have a parameter called index, and that's like this. There's a way to mention that this method is returning a int value. It returns what it returns. So there's something like at the rate return, at the rate param to indicate the parameters. So you have that mechanism available in the javadoc. It's a good tool, right? So once you have done your project or something, yeah, generate a full documentation like this. So good idea to always keep on adding documentation comments as you write your code. And maybe initially it may not be so practical, but but helps. Fine. It's in long time it would help. Okay, fine. We'll break for the day and we'll continue tomorrow now. Okay, and so tomorrow what you have laptops, all of you? So tomorrow we can do the practice. Fine. You can try these 3 commands. That's what I would like you to do. Okay, and if we finish early, yes, we can take up some more topic, right? Next thing. Okay, and but tomorrow, yes, mainly practical we'll have. So you can ask whatever difficulties you get. Once you do the hands-on thing, right? You can. It's not. See how we were doing today, exploring. So practical is just for exploring. So make mistakes, explore, make mistakes, and we'll learn more. Okay. Okay, fine.